Hi everyone. Today now we will start demand. Right? Today we are going to start demand. And demand in economics is a very important concept. As you know, but number of these students they are confused when they are going to demand. Demand means something. Actually, when we are discussing about demand, these are the four basic parameters. Those are very important. Number one is desire for a commodity. Number two, sufficient money to purchase the commodity. Number three, willingness to spend money to acquire that commodity and to demand at a particular price at a particular point of time. Right. So, in short, we can say demand for a commodity is the amount of a good that buyers are willing and able to purchase at various given prices in a period of time. Basically, somebody if would say, let's say I'm going to take all four things example of demand. Number one is desire for a commodity. Whether you want this commodity, desire for the commodity, you need this commodity, you want this commodity, this is the one aspect. If we talk about second aspect, sufficient money. Okay, fine. That's all right. You want this. Suppose I'm giving my example. I want this bungalow. And this bungalow is costing 1 CR, 1 CR, 1 crore, right? This bungalow is costing 1 crore. So, if I want this bungalow, this is whether I have sufficient amount to purchase this bungalow, sufficient money. Then we come to the willingness to spend money to acquire. Let's say I have 1 crore rupee in my account. Agree. But whether I have willingness to purchase this amount to purchase this bungalow or otherwise what I believe, okay fine, I can spend this 1 crore amount to some other place. I can invest this amount where I can invest this amount in the share market or I can invest in my business. So that will grow rather than I am investing this amount to purchase this bungalow. Are you getting my point? So here is all these three things. Let's say now I have willingness also to spend this money. Correct? Then to demand at a particular price at a particular point of time. Now everything is all right? Let's say I all three things are all these three things are fulfilling desire for a commodity, sufficient money to purchase the commodity, willingness to spend money, each and everything that I am fulfilling, but whether I am ready to spend this amount right now, point of time, at a particular point of time and at a particular price, or otherwise people what they believe, they think, I mean, when the price will go down, then we have to purchase this commodity. So that would not be treated as demand. Demand means all four parameters should be fulfilled. Number one is desire for a commodity. Number two, sufficient money to purchase the commodity. Number three, willingness to spend money to acquire that commodity. And number four, demand at a particular price is very important term and at a particular point of time. Then this is collectively we can call it demand. So, in short, we can say demand for a commodity is the amount of a good that buyers are willing and able to purchase at various given price in a period of time. I'm sure this demand definition is clear to you, right? Then we come to the how many determinants of demand. There are so many determinants of demand. Demand is influenced by so many factors. Number one, price of the commodity. The most important factor is price of the commodity. Right? Right. Price of the commodity. Price of the commodity here is means price will influence this demand. Income of the consumer, right? You understand, when price is going up, demand will go down. When the price is going down, demand will go up. So income of the consumer also. Income of the consumer means customers income. If the customer's income will increase, then demand would also increase. If the consumer income will decrease, demand will also decrease. Price of the related goods. Related goods means we are talking about, there is the two types of goods. Number one is I'm talking about, say, just a moment, I'm talking about, here is number of the goods, right? Here is number one is substitutes goods. Substitutes goods, right? And another one is, we are talking about complementary goods. So there is difference between these two terms, substitute goods and complementary goods, right? If we talk about substitute goods, complementary goods, substitute goods means like tea and coffee. Like at a time you are consuming one commodity. But complementary goods means both the goods are going together. Both these goods are going together, complementary goods, right? Substitute goods and complementary goods. Substitute goods means tea and coffee. Complementary means goods. Both these goods are going together, like car and petrol, pen and ink, right? So these are the complementary goods. So price, it depends upon this thing, what is the price of your substitute goods or complementary goods, right? One by one we will talk about both these kinds of goods. First is, we are talking about substitute goods. Let's say substitute goods, for example, we are talking about substitute goods if the tea price is increasing, right? So people, they will shift towards demand of this coffee will increase, right? Because price of tea is going to increase, correct? Because tea and coffee both are substitutes of each other. But in case of complementary goods, what would happen? If the price, we are talking about, if the price of, let's say, petrol is increasing, right? So ultimately price, this one is the demand of the vehicle, would, what would happen? That would not increase, that would decrease, because both the goods are complementing to each other, correct? Then we come over here, fourth point, taste and preference. Taste and preference of the consumer. Because time to time you have seen, this one is the fashion industry. We talk about the fashion industry. People taste and preferences keep on changing, and accordingly demand of that particular good will also increase or decrease. Taste and preference of the consumer. Let's say we will talk about one particular, I mean, what kind of the clothing this time, what kind of dresses they are in the trend, those are most trending, so people will demand. I'm giving you one simple example. Earlier there was these small TVs, those were put it on our table, we were watching these TVs. But nowadays people, they had shifted towards this one is LCD, LED, plasma TV. And now the inches is also increased, let's say 55 inches, and plasma even you can get it more, 84 inches also. So I mean, taste and preferences, how the customers is changing. So now the demand of these LCD and LED is increasing, rather than those are the small televisions, those were we had put it small simply color televisions, they are not demanding, because the taste and preferences people, they have changed. Now we come to the consumers' expectations about the future price. Yes, very important factor is very important, future prices. There is the consumer expectations about the future prices. You could see here, Consumer expectations about the future prices, we talk about the, let's say in future the price is going down. So at this time you are not going to purchase this particular product. You will not purchase this product. What will happen? You have to purchase this product in future. You have to wait some time. But let's say somebody will say after 2 3 days or after a week, price will is going to increase, right? For example, after a budget on 1st April onwards, all electronic items will be going to dearer. So you have to start purchasing right away. Why? Because you know price is going to increase after some time, or in a next financial year. So that is the consumer's expectations about the future price, right? Now these are the, we were talking about all these 5 points from the point of view, individual point of view. Now we come to the market's point of view. Market's point of view, if we talk about market's point of view, so these 5 points we are including, and apart from these 5 points we are including these 2 points also. Now, one by one, we will discuss both these points, size and compensation of the population. First point is size and composition of the population. Size and composition of population means what is the size of the population? Now, let's say if I will talk about Bhutan, there is the total population size is only 7 lakh. But in our country, uh, one 135 crore population is here. So demand would depend upon market demand. It depends upon the size of the population. And composition means what? Composition, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in the chat box. You can ask me in the chat box, so that would be visible to me and I would answer your query in the chat box itself. So now size and composition of population. Composition means we are talking about how many people belongs to which age group. How many people are young, how many people are old age person, how many people are kids, and how many are males, how many are females, right? Gender also, because some specific commodities are only required by females, some specific commodity only required by male. So all the compositions we have to look into this thing. Now the next thing is distribution of the national income. Distribution of national income, right? Distribution of national income means, in national income distribution means we will say whether how many people are belongs to low income group, how many people belongs to middle income group, how many people belongs to higher income group. Low income group, if the specific, I mean, if suppose we are designing some product that belongs to higher income group, like the some cars, Audi, Land Rover, these kind of cars, those belongs to higher income group. So if the percentage of the low income group is on the higher side in your country, so ultimately what would happen, demand of that particular product will not be on the higher side, right? So distribution of national income, that we have to know accordingly. Demand, that would influence our demand. If let's say this country maximum number of the people are rich people, those belongs to high income group, so automatically those products or the premium products what we have designed, that we have to sell out easily, correct? Next, we come to the law of demand. It's a very, very important concept, law of demand. Law of demand means simply two things are included here, demand and price. The law of demand expresses the functional relationship between price and quantity demanded. Right, how both these things, price and quantity, they are related to each other. Rest of these things, other things remaining same, other things remaining constant, such as perverse, right? And you know there is the inverse relationship between demand and price. There is inverse relationship between demand and price, correct? When the demand is increasing, price is decreasing. When demand is decreasing, when the price is increasing, demand is decreasing. So basically law of demand, it focuses only two things, demand and price. Rest of the things are remaining constant. That means they are not influencing demand. No income, like income, taste and preference, these things are not influencing. Correct? So now the assumptions of these things, income level should remain the same. Income level should remain the same. Price of other goods should remain the same. Taste and preferences of the buyer should not change. No new substitutes for the commodity, right? No new substitute of the commodity we will consider. And price rise in future should not be expected. That means we do not have any expectation whether the price of the commodity will be increasing or decreasing, right? So I'm sure law of demand concept is clear to everyone. Now we come to the demand curve. Demand curve is a geographical presentation of graphical presentation of quantities demanded by the consumer at various possible price at a given point of time. You can see here demand curve would always be, you could see here, that would be from sloping downward from left to right. Why? Because there is the inverse relationship between price and quantity. When the price is increasing, 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 then demand is, there is the decreasing. Price is increasing, demand is decreasing, right? So I mean, you understand, just a moment, you understand this is the inverse relationship, how it's working on, right? When the price is increasing, demand will decreasing, but when the price is reducing, right, then demand will decreasing, then demand will increasing, right? So I'm sure this concept is clear to everyone. Now in the next interaction, next video, next live chat, we will discuss about the some important concepts of the elasticity, right? We would have elasticity, right? Thank you everyone. Thank you.